You water it every morning. You dust its leaves with care. You place it near the window, hoping it catches just enough light. It's more than a plant, it's a wish, a small green prayer for peace, fortune, and flow. But if you place the wrong plant in the wrong corner, you may be blocking your own wealth, quietly, repeatedly, without knowing. In Feng Shui, plants are not passive. They breathe, they absorb, they transmit. When chosen correctly, they become living allies, pulling in prosperity, filtering stagnant energy, helping your space and soul align. But here's the truth few dare to say. Most people get it wrong. They buy a lucky bamboo without knowing their zodiac clashes with its energy. They place a fiery-leafed plant in the wealth corner, unknowingly amplifying chaos instead of abundance. They push a grounding tree into a dim bathroom and wonder why clarity and cash flow start to dim with it. This isn't superstition. It's energetic misplacement. Like trying to tune into your favorite song on the wrong frequency, all you get is static. Today, we're going to walk through the 12 Chinese Zodiac signs and reveal not just which plant aligns with your birth energy, but where it should go, and just as importantly, where it should never be. Because one wrong placement could be the reason wealth keeps slipping through the cracks, and one right adjustment could open a door that's been waiting, dusty, and forgotten at the edge of your life. Let's begin. Number 1, rat scattered focus, scattered fortune. Your energy moves fast. You think, feel, decide all in one breath. People born under the rat sign are sharp, agile, and naturally tuned to opportunities. You see angles others miss. You turn small chances into momentum. But there's one quiet pattern that keeps repeating. You start strong, then things dissolve. Ideas drift, projects scatter. Finances slip through even when income grows. It's not a lack of ability, it's energy without an anchor. And in Feng Shui, the very plant you place in your space can either ground that energy or fragment it further. Here's where many rats go wrong. They choose what looks beautiful, bushy herbs, stringy vines, flashy leaves. These plants match their outer dynamism, but they fail to offer what rats truly need: containment, direction, and energetic stillness. Remember, rats belong to the water element. Water is fluid, adaptable, but when left unshaped, it spreads thin, loses force, and floods. You don't need more movement. You need something to hold you, to gather your efforts into one channel. That's where the ZZ plant, Zamioculcas zamiifolia, becomes your energetic ally. Its strength lies not in flash, but in form. Each glossy, coin-shaped leaf grows upward in deliberate order. No sprawl, no waste. The plant stands like a quiet guard, absorbing chaos, returning structure. It's no coincidence the leaves look like antique coins. In Feng Shui, their shape represents accumulated, quiet wealth, not sudden windfalls, but what stays, grows, and supports. The ZZ plant is aligned with the wood element, and when placed with water, your energy, it forms a nourishing cycle. Water feeds, wood right arrow, wood grows, steadily right arrow, wealth stabilizes. But this flow only works if you place the plant correctly. And sadly, most people don't. They shove it behind curtains, next to buzzing electronics, or in high-traffic, noisy areas where its frequency is constantly interrupted. Result: the plant declines, and with it your inner clarity. Here's what to do instead. Place your ZZ plant in the southeast corner, the wealth area in Feng Shui, or on your work desk left side where subconscious focus gathers. Ensure soft light, fresh air, and minimal disruption. Avoid corners near TVs, mirrors, or bathrooms. When your ZZ plant thrives, firm stems, deep green glow, upright shape, it reflects your own energetic alignment. But if it wilts, leans, or begins to yellow, that's more than just a plant problem. It's a sign your focus is diffused, your wealth cycle interrupted. So today, return to stillness. Wipe each leaf like brushing away scattered thoughts. Place the pot with both hands, not just as Daker, but as a decision. Whisper something simple. I call back my energy. I hold what matters. I let wealth stay. No need to chase. Let this quiet, glossy plant teach you what your nature forgets. Success isn't speed, it's direction. Number 2, ox hard earth no bloom. You move slow, but you move deep. Ox signs are steady, grounded, and incredibly resilient. You don't rush, you build, you endure, but sometimes nothing moves, not your finances, not your career, not even your emotions. You wait for luck to shift, for things to get lighter, but instead the days feel like hardened soil, dense, packed, unmoving. Here's what you may not realize. Your very stability is creating an invisible wall around your energy. And if the plant in your home mirrors that same density, thick, dark, dry, unmoving, it can lock your fortune in place. Many ox individuals unknowingly choose the wrong type of plant. Cactus, too rigid. Bonsai, too clipped. Sharp-leaved ornamental plants. These echo your strength, yes, but they amplify stagnation. You don't need more stillness. You need soft movement. A touch of flexibility that allows your inner flow to breathe again. That's why the flaming sword plant, Vreesia splendens, is your perfect match. With its wide, lush green base and single vertical bloom like a red flame, it symbolizes awakening not by force, but by life rising naturally through the earth. In Feng Shui, this plant holds the wood element, which gently nourishes your earth energy. Wood softens earth not to weaken it, but to make it receptive again. Imagine soil after a spring rain, not muddy, not cracked, just right for seeds to root and fortune to grow. When you introduce flaming sword into your space, you invite new Kai without disturbing your foundation. It stirs, not shakes. But here's the mistake many ox signs make. They bury the plant, placing it in dark corners, behind furniture, or near stagnant air. Doing this traps the very energy you're trying to release. Where to place it instead? Near the main entrance, to awaken opportunity as it enters. In the southeast wealth corner, where wood can interact harmoniously with earth. Or beside a window that catches gentle morning light, never harsh noon sun. Let the bloom rise like a quiet fire, a reminder that fortune doesn't always come fast, but it does come when the ground is finally soft enough to let it in. If the plant leans, browns, or stops blooming, don't panic. It may be reflecting your own inner pressure, your unwillingness to shift. So take a breath, touch the leaf, say softly, I allow movement, I soften control, I welcome growth. No big changes needed, just one. Place the plant where light finds it. Watch how the room changes, then your body, then your money, because the energy of the ox is not broken, it's just too still. And the right plant in the right place is the first ripple. Number 3, tiger too fierce to receive. You were born with fire in your step. Tiger signs carry a natural force, bold, fast, decisive. When others hesitate, you move. When the world resists, you push harder. It's your gift. And also your quiet undoing. Because what you often call momentum is sometimes just pressure. And pressure burns through your clarity, your relationships, even your luck. Have you noticed it lately? Deals almost closing, then slipping. People getting overwhelmed around you. Money arriving in bursts, then disappearing just as fast. It's not always because you acted too fast. Sometimes it's because the energy around you can't keep up. And if the plant in your space adds fire instead of grounding, you're amplifying what already needs balancing. Tigers often choose tall, dramatic plants, palms that flare out, sharp leaves, vibrant reds. they match your aura. But they don't balance it. Instead, what you truly need is something earthy, solid, and quiet. A plant that doesn't demand attention but holds space. That's why your healing companion is the Schefflera plant umbrella tree. Wide leaves, gentle energy, a soft scent that keeps insects and restless kai away. But more than that, Schefflera is a symbol of balance. Its leaves grow in clusters of 5, representing the 5 elements in harmony. Perfect for someone who often lives on the edge of imbalance. In Feng Shui, this plant belongs to the earth element, which supports and nourishes your natural wood energy. It doesn't suppress your boldness, it grounds it. Think of it as soil firm enough to catch the wind, so that ideas don't just race but take root. But here's where most tigers go wrong. They place this grounding plant in high-energy spots, kitchens, workout corners, loud hallways. Or worse, they neglect it, assuming it's easy to care for. And slowly its leaves begin to yellow, its growth stunts, and your own life feels unanchored again. Here's how to restore the flow. Place your Schefflera in the east or southeast corner of your home. Choose a calm, uncluttered space, away from electronics or heat. Let soft, filtered light reach its leaves. Think early morning, not mid-afternoon. When it thrives, so will you. Its rounded canopy gently cools your energetic fire. Its slow, steady growth reminds you, you don't need to rush to be powerful. In fact, the real power begins when you learn to pause. Each time you water it, breathe slowly. Not as a task, as a ritual, say to yourself, I am still powerful even when still. I move with clarity, not reaction. I let fortune arrive, not chase it away. Let the plant teach you what force cannot, reception. Because for the tiger, the real fortune isn't just in the hunt. It's in knowing when to stay and let life find you. Number 4, rabbit cat, gentle but drifting. You listen, you sense, you care. Those born under the rabbit sign are known for their empathy, grace, and intuitive calm. You often sense tension before it's spoken. You soften conflict, hold space for others, and carry harmony like a quiet lantern in the dark. But what happens when you forget to hold that same softness for yourself? Lately, you might feel this. You're tired, but not from tasks. Your heart feels full, yet strangely hollow. You're surrounded by people, but still carry a sense of disconnection. This isn't weakness. It's what happens when your inner energy gets diluted. And sometimes the plants you place around you, though meant to support, only make that dilution worse. Many rabbits unknowingly place plants that are too bold, spiky edges, dramatic colors, high-maintenance tropicals. They believe these will add strength to their space. But these clash with the rabbit's wood element, and instead of grounding you, they scatter your subtle energy further. The right plant for you doesn't demand attention. It mirrors your natural rhythm, gentle, flexible, quietly strong. That plant is the lucky bamboo, not just for luck, but for restoration. Its form is soft but resilient. It grows upward in graceful spirals or clean lines, often in water, the element that nourishes wood. In Feng Shui, lucky bamboo is prized for its adaptability. It thrives in water, in soil, in glass, or ceramic. It doesn't need much, just intention. That's why it's your match. It represents flexible resilience, the exact quality that allows you to stay true to yourself while adapting to what life brings. But here's the hidden danger. Most people place it wrong. They buy a stalk or two and leave it forgotten near the TV. Or worse, in a cold kitchen corner or under harsh light. What begins as a symbol of grace becomes a silent signal of neglect. And when a rabbit lives surrounded by neglected energy, they begin to forget themselves. They give more, receive less, until they vanish in their own home. So let's re-anchor. Here, S how to place lucky bamboo with purpose. Set it in the east or southeast corner, the home of health and personal growth. Choose a low, clean table or shelf, never the floor. Use soft, indirect light. Too much sun burns both the leaves and your spirit. Place it in a clear glass vase with fresh water, a few clean stones, and change the water every 5-7 days. This is not just placement, it's devotion. Each time you refresh its water, you remind yourself your needs matter too. Your peace deserves protection. Say quietly, I nourish myself, I belong in this space. I grow gently, and that is enough. Watch the plant grow. Watch your sense of self return. Because the rabbit's strength is not in loud power or bold motion. It's in holding tenderness without losing shape. And lucky bamboo reminds you every day that softness, when rooted, can carry the strongest fortune of all. Number 5, dragon, too much fire, no roots. You are power, presence, and pure momentum. Those born under the dragon's sign radiate charisma and command. You dream in vast scale, you act with purpose. People sense your energy the moment you walk in. It fills rooms, moves teams, sparks change. But here, that's what few understand. Even dragons get tired. Even dragons burn out. When your fire grows too fierce, it begins to consume you, not just your plans. You may start to feel restless but without direction, surrounded by noise, yet emotionally isolated, bursting with ideas, yet strangely unproductive. This isn't failure. It's a lack of anchoring. And the plant in your home, the one meant to calm, inspire, or symbolize abundance, might be adding fuel to the fire instead of grounding it. Most dragons choose plants that are bold, dramatic, high energy. Red blooms, tall palms, angular succulents. These match your outward identity, but not your energetic need. You don't need more heat. You need containment. You need something to gather, hold, and regulate your power so it works for you, not against you. That's why your ideal Feng Shui ally is the Chinese Tarot, Alocasia or Colocasia variety. Thick stems, oversized, heart-shaped leaves, a plant that listens before it reacts. In Feng Shui, the Chinese Tarot holds strong wood energy, but it expresses it through yin, receptivity, softness, containment. The large leaves are shaped like ears, and in Feng Shui symbolism, ears represent wisdom and perception. Not pushing energy outward, but gathering it in. This is exactly what dragons need, to stop sending energy in all directions and start receiving again. But here's the danger. The Chinese Tarot is sensitive, and so is your inner state. Most people place it near too much movement in hallways, under fans, near doors. And what happens? The leaves droop, the soil dries, the energy becomes jittery. So does your mind. Here is how to realign. Place the Chinese Tarot in a quiet corner, such as a stair landing or next to a reading chair. Choose a north or northeast direction, areas linked with wisdom and self-cultivation. Use soft, natural light, never direct midday sun. Keep the soil slightly moist, not soggy. Balance is everything. This is not just about keeping a plant alive. It's about helping your vision take root. Each time you pass it, pause, gently touch a leaf, whisper to yourself, I listen now. My power flows inward first. I rise from stillness. Because for dragons, the temptation is always to act, to lead, to shine. But true strength, the kind that lasts, nourishes, and magnetizes wealth, comes from alignment. Let the plant hold what you no longer have to control. Let its wide green canopy become your soft fortress. And from that quiet space, let fortune return. Number 6, snake silence that blocks the flow. You see more than you say. The snake sign is intuitive, strategic, and emotionally precise. You read between lines, feel what's unspoken, and protect your inner world with quiet elegance. But here's the burden few notice. When you hold everything inside, the stress, the vision, the uncertainty, it creates inner compression. Not just emotionally, but energetically. And when that pressure builds without release, wealth stops flowing. Not because it's far from you, but because it can't reach you. You may feel tense, but without reason. Private, yet strangely misunderstood. Capable, yet blocked, as if something is stuck just beneath the surface. This happens often for snakes who externalize calm, but internalize chaos. And if the plant in your space carries sharp, erratic, or overly masculine energy, it may be mirroring your own hidden rigidity rather than dissolving it. What you need is not decoration. You need a plant that whispers open a path. One that moves gently, grows close to the earth, and reminds you to soften your grip. That's why the perfect match for your energy is the pennywort plant, also called Indian pennywort or Gatu kola. Round, flat leaves. Delicate stems. A subtle radiance that doesn't compete, it coexists. In Feng Shui, pennywort symbolizes gentle expansion. Its leaves resemble ancient Chinese coins, not flashy or oversized, but simple, balanced, circular. And it grows outward, not upward, encouraging energy to spread evenly rather than bottling up. It's associated with soft wood energy, which balances the snake's fire element. Wood calms fire. Not by extinguishing it, but by giving it direction, so that intensity becomes clarity. But here's where many snakes misplace the energy. They put the pennywort in hidden corners, behind devices, or where dust gathers. They treat it like a passive object instead of an active healer. And the plant reacts, its leaves shrink. Growth slows, its circular energy becomes lopsided like your own emotional field. Here's how to restore the flow. Place the pennywort near windows, doorways, or on work desks, where energy naturally moves. Use shallow ceramic or glass pots, earthy but refined. Let it catch soft light, with moderate air, no direct wind or heat. Water consistently, but sparingly, just enough to maintain flow, not overwhelm it. When the pennywort thrives, your energy opens. Not in big dramatic shifts, but in the way fog slowly lifts from a morning path. Every time you pass it, pause, gently trace a leaf's edge. Say inwardly, I allow softness. I open even in silence. I let fortune circulate freely. Because for the snake, power doesn't come from intensity, it comes from containment with breathability. Let the pennywort stretch where you once tightened. Let its green, round leaves remind you. Not every treasure has to be held tight. Some arrive only when you're ready to receive without control. Number 7, horse running with nowhere to land. You were born to move. The horse sign is wild-hearted, freedom-loving, and fueled by momentum. You chase dreams others are too afraid to name. You leap before others walk. You move fast, and for the most part it works. Until it doesn't. Because no matter how fast you gallop, if the energy around you is chaotic, stagnant, or misaligned, you end up running in circles. You might be feeling it now. Productivity high, but fulfillment low. Rooms that feel off, even when clean. A sense of spiritual or financial burnout without knowing why. This isn't about slowing down. It's about understanding that forward motion needs a clear field, not just enthusiasm. And too often, the plants you choose mirror your fire instead of balancing it. Tall snake plants, red-leaf tropicals, sharp palms, they energize, yes. But for a horse, they can over-energize, tipping you into impulsivity and restlessness. Your element is fire. You don't need more flame. You need a soft, vertical axis to calm and clarify. Enter the Eureka palm, not bold, not flashy, but steady, upright, gentle. Its fronds reach upward like open hands, not grasping, just receiving. In Feng Shui, the Eureka palm carries pure yang energy, clean, warm, and stabilizing. It filters air, refreshes mood, and grounds fast energy without dulling it. This is what you need, not to stop running, but to run with direction. But here's the mistake. Most horses place plants without intention. Corners near electronics, close to doors that slam, in rooms filled with clutter. They forget the plant isn't just decor, it's your environment's frequency tuner. And the Eureka palm is sensitive. If placed in poor light or neglected, it droops. Leaves yellow, edges crisp. And that mirrors your own burnout, chasing light in all directions but not finding warmth. Here's how to realign. Place the Eureka palm in a well-lit corner near a window, where soft morning light flows in. Avoid areas with intense artificial light or heavy foot traffic. Let it stand alone, give it breathing space. Check the soil weekly, it likes light moisture, not wetness. Clean its fronds often, they act as energetic filters. More than physical care, this is about energetic hygiene. Each time you walk by, pause. Notice how upright it stands, not from tension, but from quiet integrity. Touch the leaves gently and say, I don't need to rush. My path is clear, my pace is wise. I move with ease, not exhaustion. Let the Eureka palm teach you that clarity doesn't always arrive with more effort. Sometimes, it arrives when you make space for stillness to stand beside your fire. Because for the horse, fortune doesn't always come by running faster. Sometimes, it comes when you finally allow yourself to land. Number 8, goat quiet but not yet at peace. There's a corner in your home you love. Soft light filters in. A chair you rarely sit on, maybe a book half-read, everything looks calm, but somehow it doesn't feel restful. You tidy. You decorate, you light incense. But the stillness you seek, that deep, anchoring peace, keeps slipping through your fingers. If you're born under the goat sign, this feeling is familiar. You crave harmony not just in your space, but in your spirit. You notice beauty others miss. You sense the emotional texture of a room, and when it's off, it weighs on you. Gently but relentlessly, you may be feeling. Mentally foggy without clear reason. Emotionally full, yet strangely ungrounded. Like your space looks peaceful but doesn't recharge you. It's not your fault. It's energy residue, old tension, silent noise, invisible weight. And too often, the plants in your space absorb that energy, but never release it. Many goats place flowers that are fragile or overly decorative, orchids that wilt fast, petals that bruise easily. They match your tenderness, but they don't hold your energy. They fade quickly, leaving behind more emptiness. What you need is a purifier, one that doesn't ask for attention, but keeps working even when you forget it's there. That's why the peace lily is your perfect plant companion. It's not loud. It doesn't bloom in bright colors, but it cleans quietly and completely. The peace lily absorbs not just toxins in the air, but energetic static. In Feng Shui, it is known as the plant of inner clarity, soft in appearance, powerful in action. Its white blooms resemble a hand in prayer. Its dark leaves hold and transmute energy from confusion to focus, from overwhelm to calm. But here's what most people get wrong. They place it near electronics, dusty corners, or under aggressive lighting, as if it's a decoration, not a healer. And when that happens, the plant stops blooming, leaves droop. The energy remains stuck, and so does your peace of mind. Here's how to bring it back to life and yourself with it. Place the peace lily in your bedroom, reading corner, or meditation space. Avoid kitchens, mirrors, or loud objects near. Let it receive gentle, diffused light, not direct sunlight. Keep the soil slightly moist, not dry, not soggy. Wipe its leaves every few days, a physical act of clearing emotional dust. And then be still. Let the space breathe. Let yourself sit in that chair again, this time fully. Each time you walk past, notice the curve of the white bloom. Place your hand near it and whisper, "I let go of noise." My peace is not decoration. It is nourishment. I deserve rest that heals. Because for the goat, true abundance isn't loud. It's the feeling of returning home, not just to a space, but to yourself. And the peace lily simply holds the door open. Number 9, monkey, busy mind, empty center. There are days when your mind feels like a browser with too many tabs open. You start a task, get an idea, jump to something else, and somehow, even with the whole day full, nothing feels truly done. If you're born under the monkey sign, you likely know this well. Your brilliance lies in agility, mental, emotional, creative. You adapt quickly, seize openings, outthink the problem before it appears. But what you rarely notice is how much energy leaks in the process. You move fast, but sometimes not deep. And when your environment mirrors that scattered momentum, the result is energetic fragmentation. Especially when your plants, meant to ground and nourish, are chosen by impulse, not alignment. Monkey signs often go for trendy plants, anything rare, exotic, or interesting. They buy what catches the eye, not always what holds the energy. The mistake? Choosing plants that excite but don't center. Your energy belongs to the metal element, sharp, refined, precise. But without support from the right environment, metal can become brittle, overly stimulated, or even energetically cut off from flow. What you need is not stimulation. You need refinement with softness. That's why the Phalaenopsis orchid, also known as the moth orchid, is your energetic antidote. Its petals are smooth. Its colors are elegant. It's a flower that draws attention not by shouting, but by being complete within itself. In Feng Shui, this orchid symbolizes noble focus. It carries a subtle, high-frequency vibration that harmonizes scattered energy, not by slowing you down, but by reuniting you with your center. It thrives in calm, beautiful spaces. It doesn't like drama, and neither does your nervous system, if you're honest. But here's what most monkeys get wrong. They place the orchid in noisy areas, kitchen shelves, bathroom sinks next to busy doorways. Or they buy one, forget to water it for weeks, and wonder why it fades. An orchid neglected mirrors your own energy when spread too thin, frail, drooping, beauty unexpressed. Here's how to honor the energy. Place your orchid in a relaxation nook, living room altar, or writing corner. Let it sit in soft morning light, no harsh rays or flickering bulbs. Water only when dry. This plant likes attention, not overcare. Speak gently around it. It holds more than you think. And most importantly, slow down when you see it. Let it remind you that you don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to jump from branch to branch just because you can. Place your hand near its flower and say, "My mind is calm, my energy is focused. I act with intention, not reaction. My brilliance is grounded." Because for the monkey, true fortune doesn't come from how many things you touch, but from how deeply you stay with what matters. Let the orchid anchor your thoughts. Let it become the quiet center in a mind that moves fast, not to restrict you, but to remind you. Stillness makes brilliance visible. Number 10, Rooster, sharp eyes, tired roots. Sometimes the light is too bright. Not the sun, but the kind of clarity that sees every flaw, the chair that's slightly out of place, the wrinkle in the curtain, the plan that didn't meet its full potential. If you're born under the Rooster sign, you likely know this light well. You're sharp, precise, analytical. You bring order where there's chaos, perfection where others settle for good enough. And the world admires you for it. But what happens when that sharpness turns inward? You begin to fix things that aren't broken. You stay restless in rooms that are already still. You judge your own pace even when you've done more than enough. And over time, you get tired. Not just physically, but root tired. Like a plant that's been trimmed too much, expected to bloom constantly without rest. The truth is, your energy belongs to the metal element, focused, disciplined, powerful. But metal needs earth to stabilize. Without that grounding, your perfectionism becomes pressure, and pressure makes energy brittle. Here, where the wrong plant makes things worse. Roosters often choose high-maintenance plants or ones with dramatic shapes, bonsai trees, spiky air plants, even flowering vines. They look beautiful for a while. Then they demand more, give less, and collapse. Just like your own momentum when left unsupported, what you truly need is something quiet and stable. A plant that embodies resilience without performance. The best fit, the succulent, it's not showy, it doesn't wilt under less care. It holds water, it stays symmetrical, it knows how to conserve without closing off. In Feng Shui, succulents carry strong earth energy which supports your metal nature, keeping it grounded, nourished, and steady. Their round, layered shapes resemble the lotus, a symbol of peaceful growth. Their slow rhythm teaches your fast mind how to breathe again. But here's the subtle trap. Succulents are often treated as afterthoughts, placed too low. Drowned in water, left on cluttered windowsills, ignored until they rot or shrivel. And when that happens, they begin to reflect the very imbalance you're trying to solve. Here, how to place your succulent right and restore your roots. Choose a small, elevated surface, like a bedside shelf, minimalist desk corner, or quiet coffee table. Let it receive gentle sunlight, ideally morning or late afternoon light. Avoid placing it beside sharp angles, mirrors, or too many metal objects. Water only when the soil is fully dry, and use that moment as a check-in with yourself. Every time you see it, resist the urge to tweak or rearrange. Let it be, touch one leaf gently and say, balance does not require perfection. I hold what I need, I release what I don't. My energy is enough even in rest. Because for the Rooster, the journey isn't about letting go of excellence. It's about knowing when to stop polishing the gold and start enjoying its quiet glow. Let the succulent hold space for what you don't say. Let it remind you. Steadiness is also a kind of beauty. Number 11, dog you give, but do you receive? You carry more than most. You're the one people trust, the one who shows up even when exhausted. You protect, you support. You hold space for others, for duty, for the life you believe in. But who holds space for you? Those born under the dog sign are loyal, dependable, and deeply guided by values. You give without asking. You love without limits. And slowly, without noticing, your energy starts to run dry, not from one big moment, but from tiny, invisible leaks. You might feel constant responsibility, quiet emotional fatigue, a sense that abundance visits but never stays. Here's what Feng Shui reveals. Overgiving without replenishment leads to energetic imbalance. Your element is earth, stable, nurturing, reliable. But even earth needs nourishment. When left unsupported, it becomes dry, resistant, even resentful, though you'd never say it aloud. And the plant in your home? It may be echoing that same imbalance. Many dogs unknowingly choose plants that are plain, utilitarian, or overly small because they don't want to take up space. Or worse, they go without any plant at all. But this isn't humility, it's energetic neglect. What you truly need is a plant that holds, anchors, and quietly invites in wealth without demand. A symbol of receiving without guilt. That's why your healing match is the money tree, Pacara aquatica. With its strong braided trunk and lush canopy of green, it represents prosperity with protection. In Feng Shui, the money tree is aligned with the wood element, which feeds earth. Wood softens and nourishes. It helps earth stay supple, not rigid. It brings movement to your stability. It invites abundance not as a gift, but as something you've always deserved. The braided trunk symbolizes energy that has been twisted, shaped, and held, much like your own journey. But its wide-spreading leaves say, now it's time to expand. Here's the common mistake. Most people place the money tree without intention, near entryways full of noise, or in cluttered corners, or worse, in spots with no light. They think its symbolism is enough. But in truth, the plant only amplifies what you energetically allow. Here's how to let it restore you. Place the money tree in your living room, home office, or by the front door. Choose a spot with gentle light and flow. No darkness, no direct heat. Keep its pot clean, free of dust and clutter. Touch its trunk with gratitude, not just for what it brings, but for what you're now ready to receive. And when you water it, do so with intention. Say softly, I give with love, I receive with ease. My worth is not tied to effort. I create space for blessings to stay. Because for the dog, the lesson is not about giving less, but about allowing your home, your life, and your energy to become a two-way flow. Let the money tree stand tall in your space, not as a reward, but as a mirror. A quiet, living message you are safe to receive. Number 12, pig, a soft scent that brings you back. Sometimes healing doesn't come in words or clarity, but in a scent. The gentle aroma of crushed mint, the breath of fresh leaves after rain, the warm trace of herbal steam rising from a cup. If you're born under the pig sign, you carry that kind of softness. Warm, quiet, deeply intuitive. You don't chase the world, you invite it. You sense emotions before they're spoken. You comfort without asking. And often you give yourself away in the process. Because when others are loud, you stay gentle. When chaos grows, you retreat. But when energy in your space turns heavy, when emotions accumulate, dust lingers, or tension floats unseen, you absorb it all. And slowly, invisibly, your inner light dims. Your element is water, fluid, emotional, and reflective. But when water has no rhythm, when it stagnates, it becomes murky. For the pig, this leads to emotional overwhelm, mental fog, a constant low-frequency tiredness. And here's the thing, even your plant might be too quiet, offering no clarity, no support, or worse, adding to the confusion with strong fragrances, tangled stems, or too many energetic demands. What you need is a plant that cleanses gently, one that doesn't just absorb negativity, but transmutes it into lightness. That's why your perfect plant companion is Cuban oregano, Plectranthus amboinicus. Its leaves are thick, soft, and velvety. Crushed lightly, they release a fresh, slightly spicy aroma, grounding and uplifting. Not sharp, not sweet, but balancing. In Eastern healing traditions, Cuban oregano is known for clearing airways, cooling inner heat, softening emotional congestion. In Feng Shui, this plant belongs to the wood element, which harmonizes beautifully with your water energy, creating growth, clarity, and direction. It doesn't overwhelm. It protects quietly like a silent friend who knows exactly when to speak and when to simply sit beside you. But here's the common mistake. People treat Cuban oregano like a kitchen herb, tucking it near stoves or in crowded plant corners or letting it dry under harsh sun. And when that happens, the leaves brown, the scent fades. The energy it holds, your energy begins to close. Here, S how to bring it to life and yourself with it. Place the plant near a balcony, kitchen window, or a breezy corner. Let it receive morning air and filtered light, never dry heat. Water lightly, and only when dry to the touch. Every few days, gently pinch a leaf and inhale. Whisper something as soft as its scent. Today, I will be at peace. I receive calm as a blessing. I clear what no longer serves. More than a ritual, this becomes a rhythm. One where your space stops asking and starts soothing. One where energy becomes lighter, room by room, breath by breath. Because for the pig, fortune doesn't arrive with speed or brilliance. It arrives when the air clears, when the self is remembered, when softness is allowed to guide the flow. Let Cuban oregano be that permission. Let its leaves be your breath and its scent, the signal, your home. Final, there's something sacred in the moment after we stop speaking, when the room grows quiet, when no new information is added, no decision is asked for, just breath. And space, maybe as you listened you saw yourself. In a plant whose leaves curled like your tiredness, in a corner where light never fully reached, in a habit well-meant that slowly drained your joy. Maybe you realized it wasn't about luck leaving you. It was about energy being misplaced. And now maybe something inside has shifted, not loudly, but enough, because that's all it takes. One plant moved, one breath made slower, one sentence whispered before watering a root, and slowly the house becomes a home again. The corners hold warmth again. You walk past your living room and it greets you. You don't need more answers, you don't need more effort. You need space where your true rhythm can return. So as you sit here now, don't rush. Let your gaze soften. Let the air between objects feel full again like a gentle mist after rain. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're just remembering. And before we end, a question not to solve but to hold. What if the wealth you seek has been waiting, quietly, not to be found, but to be invited in?